Hi, so it's just me little ranty McRant here. I was thinking a little bit and just a tiny little bit because, too much isn't too healthy. Uh, I always think too much. That's why it's fine. So, I don't know. It just made me think what to do with people who, because of their ignorance, they put others in danger. How to deal with it, because there are different aspects of that, and there's one thing where things are a matter of opinion. One thing is to have an opinion, and another thing is to talk out of your ass and present it with straightforward facts and not being able to process them, to admit mistake or to learn. And that happens a lot with narcissists, for example, with whom I have a little bit of experience. So all is good, all is fine. It is perfectly legal to be ignorant and live in a fantasy land in the comfort of your own home. But what happens when this mindset affects others in ways that can be dangerous, even for the basic human security, as now all it takes is one person who decides that they're invincible, that they don't believe in what is happening, and they, go out and start contaminating people. Not mentioning those who also do it like on purpose, actually, out of their vile being. But it's very difficult because for me, there is also this whole question of, some people just being so in their own fantasy, in their own bubble. And somebody might come and say that, everything is relative and we are all in our bubbles and who knows what's true and what is real. I don't entirely subscribe to that. I think there is a certain level of subjectivity that we all hold to, in which this is true. But there are also other things where, we share a certain reality. And here I hear voices, asking, but what is real anyway? And maybe this is all just a dream. I don't find it very constructive and very helpful, and I really don't think that real is just what I decide is real. Especially on our here human earthly plane. I don't know how the universe works. I can only have ideas, but that's the thing, on some level, it's not subjective. It's if we're gonna go into the whole subjectivity of reality, we can get very entangled. But regardless of what we think in terms of, let's say, of someone's development or awareness, or how woke are they on our scale, regardless of that, there are people who, by their ignorance, can be dangerous to others. And one thing is to say, like, okay, we agree to disagree, or we even just simply disagree, or we even tell someone to go fuck themselves, and we end the conversation. Okay, fine. And we can also be more compassionate about that and be, I'm really struggling with that sometimes, because there is a certain opinion or certain view that I feel is there is a big moral judgment on certain mindsets, and I must say that I can be very swinging from very let's say politically correct, although it's not really about politics, but you know what I mean, a very we're all one, we are all equal, everybody's worthy, everybody's on their path, and it's beautiful, and blah blah blah. I'm swinging from this to I'm able to adopt rather certain mindsets that can be very extreme, and the discussion would be very difficult, and on other very different, and on other occasions I might actually fight with the same views. Unless I just fight with myself. It's not that I'm fickle and can't make up my mind. I just think that these are very complex philosophical debates and moral debates, and I think to just assume one position and end up there, it's very limiting, and it's very if nothing else, being able to adopt different views lets you understand the other part. But there are, this is like seeing some discussions online, especially. There are moments when I just don't want to discuss anymore, and I just find some people really dangerous for the good of many. So I don't know, even so, regardless of that moral judgment, that's the thing, regardless of the moral judgment, which can be individually, it can vary, and within can vary. Depends on what day you catch me. There are just facts where, like for example, if you see a child, if you, if a child is not aware, and you as an adult know that they are thinking that because they're children, and they don't know life, they don't know, or they can't process certain things yet. Okay, fine, you might be super compassionate and loving about that, but it doesn't mean you will, for example, put them in charge, right? So it's not a matter of opinion. Let's say whether somebody can drive a car or not, you can't say that in somebody's world maybe they are able to drive a car, and next thing they crash the car and kill everybody in it. So I don't know why I have this strange musings today, but there we go. There's always something that's going to trigger this kind of philosophical free flow. So there we go. I wonder how you are, how you dealing with this. And I think, now, because I sit at home alone, and I have nothing to do, and my mind just starts working overtime. No, it's a lie. I'm not alone, and my brain is weird on other days too. So that's just something that I will leave open-ended and just move on to some other things, I suppose. It's very difficult for me, because there's also, I catch myself thinking, judging basically people, and I always have this two voices, and a little angel and devil, from as a Christian, like a Christian heritage. So there are always these little voices that tell me that I'm good or bad thinking some things. But then again, some things are a matter of opinion, and some things are a matter of safety. Okay, I'm done now. Until next time.